it's Little Kansas Kitty and I'm back. For those that are new here, welcome. And for those that are returning, thanks so much for tuning in. I know it's been a minute since I've last posted. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018. So that was, 3.5 years ago. I started off my high weight, documented, at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6". I'm 41 years old. I lost 100 pounds. And I created a maintenance range for myself of anywhere in the 140s. I'm pleased anywhere in the 140s. And I tend to hug that higher end of that range. Let's just jump on the scale and see where I am today. As you can see, I'm 148 pounds. Today, I plan on talking about the usual: nutrition, fitness, beauty, a little glimpse into my personal life, including my kids, my work, and love. Nutrition and fitness go hand in hand with me. And in order to maintain your weight, you really have to get to know your own body. You need to know what your daily caloric allowance is. And a lot of factors come into place, such as your size, your age, your height, your gender, your lifestyle, and your general health. If you're unsure, call your doctor's office and see if they have a machine that will analyze your body composition and tell you your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. So my bariatric surgeon's office has a SOZO machine. And at my annual post-op follow-up appointments, they let me step on it and it does a complete full reading of my body composition. And when I had my 3-year follow-up in June, I found that my muscle mass had increased in the past year due to my lifting. And it also basically read my BMR and let me know what I already knew, that my daily caloric allowance is 1,400 calories. That's the number of calories that I can take in to maintain my weight. I'm a runner and I run to feel good. I run for a healthy heart. I run for the community and the friendship. But one of the biggest reasons that I run is because 1,400 calories is not enough for me, and I run to burn extra calories so I can indulge and eat pretty much anything that I want within limits. Right now, I'm running about 50 miles a week. And I typically run about 8 miles a day, 6 days a week, which gives me an extra 800 calories a day to work with. I'm not training for anything right now. I'm not doing some of those crazy long runs right now because I have found that if I keep my mileage lowish, I can keep some of those aches at bay. I had experienced some glute, some hamstring, and some sciatic nerve issues on my right-hand side, and if I keep those miles down, I can continue to run and not feel the pain. Working from home, I have the luxury to run a little bit later in the day. And so I'm taking full advantage of the opportunity because I know it can change at any time when we go back to the office. I run with one of my girlfriends who's a Pilates instructor a couple times a week. Other than that, I am running solo. And so some of those runs, I will take work calls from the road. I might call my mom and chat with her for a bit. But my favorite thing to do is listen to podcasts. And I have 3 particular podcasts that I absolutely love. This American Life has weekly themes, and it typically has 4 different people that it interviews on those themes and shares their real life stories. I have found myself on runs just busting out laughing and at other times crying, sobbing uncontrollably. Another podcast that I listen to is Acquired Taste. It's 2 gals. They're kind of like sisters or best friends, and they research some kind of topic during the week, present it, and they're just really funny and comical, and I just feel like I can really relate to them. Another podcast, the third one that I do subscribe to, is Betches You Up, and it has a male and a female podcaster on it, and it's all about modern dating and also real life stories that people submit. It has awkward sex stories, but what I like most about it is that they kind of dissect different people's problems in relationships, and it all really boils down to communication. And it's very relatable, and it makes me laugh and is very entertaining and interesting. Do you have a favorite podcast? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Share it in the comments down below. Since I'm not running consistently with my friends right now, and I'm still running miles and miles and hours at a time, I have really found that podcasts are a great source. Not only are they entertaining, but educational and can be therapeutic at times too, and help pass the miles. Strength training. So I'm a little over a year out now, consistently working out in the gym. And I started at about 3 days a week. Then I worked my way up to 6 days a week. I was doing about 45 minutes to an hour in the gym at a time. And I've been recently playing around with, what do I want to get out of the gym? I love feeling stronger. Just as a single parent, from doing chores at home or lifting packages, I feel much more confident that I can do pretty much anything myself. Yes, I do still hire out quite a bit, but there's a sense of pride and confidence that comes along with lifting. I'm not trying to bulk up like crazy, and I do like the muscle definition that I have built. And so I'm trying to figure out kind of the right balance with not taking up too much time in the gym, but also still maintaining the muscle that I've built. Goal is to go every single day that I can. And so when things come up or I'm just not feeling it, that's totally cool too. Consistency is key. And so I am at a point where I typically am doing shorter gym sessions, about 20 to 30 minutes at a time. I focus on 3 muscle groups. One day I'll do shoulders, the next I'll do arms, the next I'll do back. And I have not added legs back in just because of some of the pains in my glute and sciatic nerve and hamstring that I've experienced, but it is something I'd like to add into the rotation down the road. Basically, I do those 3 muscle groups and I start all over again. Even if it's been several days since I've gotten back in the gym, I just jump right back to the next muscle group that I left off at. Often in between reps, I'll throw in an ab exercise just to give that muscle that I'm focusing on a little rest. I've never had formal gym training, and so I've kind of made up my own thing with reps and sets, and I'm not sure if it's weird to others or if others would perceive it as ineffective, but I have seen results and I'm happy to be maintaining them. I love free weights and I do some machines as well. So here's kind of an example. If I'm focusing on shoulders that particular day, I will do an exercise and do 10 reps of it. I will move on to the next exercise, do 10 reps of that. I'll move on to a third exercise, do 10 reps of that, and then go back to the first one exercise and do all 3 all over again, 10 reps, 3 times each, so 30 times each on each exercise. Does that make sense? If that muscle group gets too tired, I may just pause for a moment, take a quick little rest, take a drink of water, or I'll go ahead and throw in an ab exercise so I don't waste any time and I'm constantly moving and stay focused while at the gym. Some weeks I'm in the gym 2 or 3 times. Other weeks, I'm in the gym 6 times. And so that's why I try to go as much as possible, because I know that with my family's abundant schedule, things happen and it's hard to get in there. Some weeks will be dramatically less than others, but by being consistently in there week after week, I'm able to maintain the muscles that I've gained and not lose a whole lot. Foremost, I have to get my run in. No excuses. It's a part of my life, a very important part of my life. And so the gym is the bonus, and I just squeeze it in whenever I can. Okay, enough about fitness. Let's talk about food, nutrition. Ugh, I love food. I love food before surgery. I love food after surgery. I love food right now. I attempt to be intentional, and I make some pretty good, clean choices for breakfast, lunch, snacks, and most often dinner. But after that, I am not as disciplined as I should be. I tend to reach for some Trulies in the evening or have some kind of sweets. And these sweets aren't like sugar-free Jello or sugar-free pudding right now or fruit. I'm having candy or fruit snacks or some light popcorn, typically while I'm watching TikTok or winding down with social media in the evening. Do I still dump? Yes, but I have pretty much figured out what my limits are. Sometimes the next day I step on the scale and I'm like, oh, darn it, what did you do? You're up actually a few pounds, or I'm the exact same weight as the day before. If I'm up in my weight, I just know I need to make some quick changes and cut out some carbs, cut out the sweets, and I can drop that weight again. I always try to maintain within the 140s, and I just kind of play that balancing act. I have been experimenting with a lot of meals and recipes lately because I found that I was just kind of getting bored of the same things, and I was ordering a lot of takeout. And so I decided I needed a change. And it's basically one of my hobbies right now. I just find a lot of pleasure in arranging a very tasteful and colorful plate. I'm a very aesthetic person, so I get excited about a pretty plate and just feel overly more satisfied when I take the time. Beauty-wise, I'm maintaining my Botox, my lip filler, my manis, and my pedis. At the beginning of 2021, I started the process of hair removal in different areas, and I treated my underarms, and yay, no more shaving there. It's awesome. I have moved on, and I am now addressing my chin, my upper lip, my sideburns, my bikini area, which includes my vajayjay and my bum and my upper very top of my thighs. And I go pretty much every 4 to 6 weeks for treatments right now. And it's just gonna be so awesome. And it's already been such a great time saver to not have to shave in some of those areas or as much. In the upcoming year, I'd like to think about my skin a little bit more. So I'm very habitual with lotion, and I lather my entire body daily and nourish it with lotion. But I haven't paid a lot of attention to my face, and I don't have very good skin at all. I have a lot of discoloration, I have redness, I have big pores, I have acne scars. And in recent years, I feel like my face has just exploded with dark spots from sun damage over the years. Recently, I visited a dermatologist for the first time, and I actually had 4 spots burnt off my face. So 3 of them on my nose came back from the lab, not cancerous, phew, and they were actually polyps. And then I had 1 on my cheek right here, and it came back as a mole. I'm considering some skin treatments, possibly in the future, maybe in 2022, which will include some Lomeka treatments along with some chemical peels. It is costly, but it will help with the dark spots and the discoloration, the redness, the little red veins that have popped up in areas just with age because our skin becomes thinner. I know that at some point down the road, I'm probably gonna need a mini little facelift. All fun stuff to begin considering to slow down the aging process. We have these awesome options at our fingertips should we elect to address. Love life. Although my YouTube updates have been lacking, I do post on Instagram on a weekly basis, and some of you have observed and reached out to me and asked, and yes, Travis and I did breakup a few months ago, I was devastated and heartbroken, to say the least, because when I pictured my future, it was always with him and his daughter. I loved him so much, and no, he wasn't perfect, but he was perfect for me. I've had so many relationships in my life already, and with him, it was just so drama-free. You know, the year that we spent together, we didn't fight one time. We never fought. I like that. It was always easy. No one in our circle really understood what happened, and honestly, I'm not really clear what happened either. We were so much alike, and we had lived such parallel lives. We had gone to dinner one evening, and it was the best dinner ever with his daughter, and he buttered my bread, and we laughed and went home and cuddled and hung out as we usually did, and then he broke up with me. We ended up having conversations after that for a week or two to really try to discuss kind of what was going on. And we even had another really fun night with our kids, and then it just kind of ended. I guess I didn't really challenge him enough. He couldn't really picture my daughter in our lives, and we were not in a place where we could move in together because we both had our own homes and our children in separate school districts. And I think when he thought about the idea of moving in together down the road, all he could see was problems and conflict. And so he thought it would be easier to break up now than later. We cried together, we hugged. He told me how he knew how mad his daughter was going to be with him. He thanked me for all the joy and the fun that I had brought into their lives, and told me that I was honestly one of the kindest people that he's ever had the pleasure of spending time with. I wish we would have had more relationship temperature checks, because if there was something that he was feeling, I wish we would have just discussed it so we could have possibly addressed it or explored it. I can say that when I look back at us, I had the best year ever of my life. And in my heart, I know I gave him the best version of me, the very best. And with that, I can hold my head high and be proud. What did I learn? I learned a broken heart sucks, but it can heal with time. I learned that relationships over the age of 40 are tough. You can go through hard things and still move on. I have guys ask me for my number. I've had some exes recently pop up in my DMs, just kind of saying hello. Do I have any desire to date right now? None whatsoever. I'm a very independent person and I enjoy my alone time, but I miss that touch and I miss being loved and sharing my day to day. We as humans exist out of love and are able to love again. My kids' schedules are so incredibly full right now, with both of them being at the top of their school. We have something going on almost every single day. And I can tell you, I am a much more available mother right now without a man in my life. My kids are thriving and I know it's them, but it's also me being more present and involved. Let me boast for a minute. My daughter is freaking amazing. The older she gets, the even closer we get. I love our conversations and our laughter and our shared adventures. She's in 5 school clubs right now. She's a passionate budding artist. She plays piano lessons, and she also works really hard and plays really strong on a volleyball team. After a 2-week campaign, she was elected 5th grade class president. And she's just super kind to everybody and really smart, and she just makes me really proud. My son is a senior this year. God bless him. He struggles academically, but he's working so hard. He's taking college algebra and getting dual credit for it. Basically, he wakes up early in the morning, goes to school, has a work release program, comes home, we have lunch together, then he goes to work for a couple hours. He's a hardscaper and builds patios and walkways. Then he comes home from that and he showers real quickly, and then he's off tutoring second grade. So he's part of this awesome A+ program that we have in Missouri that pays your education for free if you qualify for this program. And so he's working really hard to meet all of those qualifications. And he has plans to go into this cybersecurity program at the community college. We had some college orientation this week. We've ordered his cap and gown and tassel. He's playing rec basketball, and on the weekends, being 18 and hanging out with his friends. He's grown and matured. And it's always been us two since the beginning, and we keep it really real with each other. His sister and him are my world. My employer has gotten creative in ways to utilize me while we're still working from home, and my responsibilities have drastically increased. Although we're still virtual and probably not looking at going back into the office until 2022, I do go into the office for some of my office manager tasks, maybe once or twice a week. The building is vacant. My schedule is super flexible and I love it. So I usually stay up with the kids and then stay up a little bit later. And then I sleep in a little bit later instead of having those 4 a.m. runs in the morning that I was so used to before. I will jump online while my daughter's kind of getting ready and kind of knock out a few work tasks and then get her going with breakfast and out the door. And then I typically find time to get my run in. After that, I will jump back online, do some additional work. Sometimes I'll go into the office, and then in the afternoon, I might squeeze in some gym time and then jump back online in the evenings. I just kind of work all throughout the day. With any free time that I have, I'm usually side hustling. So I'm still art modeling, and actually that's picked up quite a bit. I'm getting a lot of referrals and just getting booked a lot more. I also donate plasma on a regular basis, and I actually started driving for DoorDash a little bit, just a little bit here and there. My daughter loves to come along with me sometimes. It's just such an adventure, and it's pretty lucrative. I probably have about 7 to 8 additional streams of side hustle income on top of my regular full-time job. I know this was a lengthy but necessary update, so if you made it to the end of this, thank you. I do hope you are doing well. I plan to be a little bit more regular again on here, focusing on various topics surrounding weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and beauty. Things are not always going to go as planned. Change is inevitable. So it's so important to take care of your body, your mind, and your soul every day so that you can conquer anything.